The rule of the Thousand Mothers of Maadath lasted for thousands of years, and the territory they controlled was immense. The Dominion had no rivals. Those who were not assimilated were dwarfed by the power of the Crimson Door, becoming ancillary states to the hyper-centralized empire of the Mothers. But in the real world, just as in Drasyl, no system can last forever. Not without change. And the Dominion was not a system that could simply change. Their downfall was caused by many factors such as corrupted and overgrown bureaucracy and the increasing detachment of the Thousand from the many peoples they ruled. Yet the main culprit of their fall was the elite regiment of warriors the Dominion came to rely upon during the last stretches of its existence. Utwara means wanderer in the old tongue of Miadani. This very euphemistic epithet was used to denote the black-fleshed creatures that became the sword and shield of the Dominion during its last centuries. How they came to be, it's not clear, but one thing is agreed upon by most scholars. The Utwara have a progenitor. This individual was a warrior of the Freeman tribes inhabiting the valley of the White Snake River, a man called Gnut. He was the first of the Utwara, capable of transforming into the tar-black humanoid horror that won him the name of Anung, translating to beast. From his seed, a race of warriors was bred to serve the Mothers. Incredibly durable and inhumanly ferocious, the Utwara could fight the one menace that Madath's armies could not quell. The Fluxes had in fact started to churn menacingly, rippling with violence across matter and space, causing odd anomalies that the powerful sorceresses of the Crimson Door could not understand. Obscure, lightless pockets of space sprouted in between the physical world and the veil beyond, festering with twisted, deformed, and prolific life. In that darkness, the power of the Mothers could nothing. Their control over the Fluxes could not reach the spreading disease corroding the fabric itself of the world. The only cure for it was the brutal violence of the Utwara, incapable of manipulating the Fluxes, but also immune to their influence. In their beastly form, the Black Warriors of Maadath fought against the nameless horrors, nightmares made flesh, fighting and dying in the absolute darkness of the sprawling abyss that was growing between worlds. The Utwara lived a life of sacrifice, devoted solely to the containment of the darkness festering between the cracks of the world, slowly seeping through. Generation after generation, they became more and more detached from the Dominion, fighting of their own volition, exploring the depths of the growing interworld, the nature of the alien ecosystem developing therein, and the mysteries that could be glimpsed at in the lightless chasm between realities. Darkness made them and surrounded them. They lived and died in it for centuries, growing ever more distant from the surface world. None could ever imagine that the reclusive, seldom seen black fiends of Maadath would turn on their masters. None could foresee that their betrayal could be so sudden, so vicious, and so catastrophic. In one single night, the dominion of the Crimson Door came crashing down, drowned in the blood of 1,000 slaughtered sorceresses. The Utwara attacked Maadath, targeting the Mothers one by one, ignoring everybody else. Humans had stopped being a concern long before, and their opposition seemed so weak that it was not worth fighting. The next morning, the Dominion awoke with its head severed. The 1,000 Mothers were no more. Their power, both political and arcane, had been wiped from the face of Drasyl. Nobles, bureaucrats, and generals jumped on the carcass of the Dominion, barely even cold, and the Age of Maadath started its bloody parade towards the end. The Utwara had disappeared as well, but they had not been idle. In the heart of the Deep Roads, as they had called the world between worlds, they had founded their stronghold. As what was left of the Mother's dominion gasped and agonized, they built the city of Oroth, the black pearl of the abyss, the city between worlds, cradle of a new and hidden civilization. Very few things are known about the Orothi, as they kept away from the surface world just as much as they kept it away from them. At times they would resurface, scouring the ruins of the Dominion, looking for slaves, but even such episodes were more unique than rare, happening once every 2 or even 3 decades. Otherwise, the Orothi kept to themselves, pursuing secret knowledge and unknown purposes in the darkness of the deep roads. Over time, the surface world forgot about them. Stories were told about the Black Fiends, the sons of Anung, the Beastkin. Stories, nothing more. And while the corpse of the Dominion rotted and new life sprouted from its remains, the Orothi flourished and seen by the world, cultivating a culture completely insulated from the surface. Their arcane technology reached unthinkable levels of development, and they learned how to master their fiendish form, how to manipulate the substance of their bodies as the black clay that it was. They were the first to ever discover how to forge starbound steel. The legends say that their abyssal blades could cut through realities, slicing the veil itself. For many centuries, the Orothi remained undisturbed. Their power could not be challenged. No army could reach them, and even if they could have, they would have been swatted away like flies. Oroth could not be fallen by external forces. Even at the end, after centuries of decay, few in numbers and weakened by the collapse of their civilization, the Orothi could not be bent. Even as a dying breed, they opposed the armies of the Imperium and the godly power of the first Lucogenitus Imperator, forcing the White Autarch to come to a begrudged truce. Orth would fall, eventually. It would crumble down, lost forever in the churning maelstrom of the deep roads. But that is a story for another time. If you like this installment, and you like what I do, feel free to perform all the appropriate algorithmic rituals. And in any case, I'll see you next time.